This team, what do we even say anymore? You know what I mean? Like you want to try to have something different to say, anything different to say. But it looks the same. It's the same exact stuff. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you anymore. Here we are, though, episode 141 of Green Bean's Jets Pod. I am happy that you're here because I'm happy that at least we get to stay together. That's all I really care about anymore, right? I mean, it's got to be something to this. I mean, here we are. The Jets lost again to a game. I mean, look, if there was going to be a game to kind of, bounce back or even just to have a win in the, late, somewhere in this season, it was going to be this one, okay? And it's a game, by the way, that the Jets, as far as the box score is concerned, by and large, they should have won. When the defense holds teams to these numbers, you're supposed to win those games. Our offense, once again, is utterly and disgustingly inept. So the score is 13-8. So once again, the defense holds a team to less than 2 touchdowns, and we cannot get there. We can't. Can't do it. Can't even get the field goals. Can't even catch up. Can't. And by the way, the defense gave us 2 of those 8 points that we had, and the offense, with one of their 2 turnovers deep in our territory, kind of gave them the touchdown, if you will. So put our defense in bad positions again. It's like the Chargers game every week. Like the defense, look at the last week against the Miami Dolphins. They give the Hail Mary, right? They give the other team 7 points. Against the Chargers, the defense is running out on the field to defend from the 1-yard line. Like, oh, good. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. So the Jets are now 4-8. 4-8, everybody. 4 wins, 8 losses. This team at one point was 4-3. 4-3. Now we're 4-8. That means 5 straight losses. Jets fans are out there calling for heads. I don't think any heads are going to roll. I think this is just what it is. This is just what it is, guys. Who would have thunk it, right? It's a funny thing because before the season, every year, Jets are kind of, we do off-season stuff. So generally speaking, we do good things in the off-season. Now this year, we didn't have a great off-season, in my opinion. And you guys know, you've heard me if you've been hanging around. I didn't like this off-season very much. I barely liked any of the moves that we made. But there was a big move in Aaron Rodgers, and that was kind of, all right. Hackett didn't love Hackett, but it meant Aaron Rodgers. Okay, great. Lazard, okay. Peace. No, we're not looking for him to be wide receiver 1, but he plays well with Rodgers. Great. Randall Cobb, okay, he's old. Wide receiver 5, 6, fine. Mecole Hardman, okay. But we had Garrett Wilson, we had Corey Davis, so it was like, okay. Breece Hall. All right, you want to feather these guys in and give Aaron Rodgers some of his guys. Then we go and get Aaron Rodgers, and it's great. Okay. But we didn't do a lot other than that. And it was the kind of year, even the draft, right? We go into the draft, and you're like, okay, let's say we have Aaron Rodgers for 1 year. This draft should be all about bolstering that 1 year. And it wasn't. Will McDonald as the first-round pick didn't make any sense. And I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player. I'm not saying any of that. But it didn't make any sense. And you can see it evidenced by our reaction. I think I said, what just happened?
Pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets. Jets.
Come on!
Select Will McDonald, linebacker, Iowa State. Let's go!
Wow. All right.
What the hell just happened?
I didn't see that coming.
Rush the passer, set a school record.
Matt O'Leary's poor face. Nobody saw it coming. No one. So Tippmann was a good pick as far as this year, right? And he's playing well. But Zaire Barnes, Izzy Abanikanda, okay. Carter Warren, injured guy. Now he's playing now today, and he had a decent game, but what he didn't do was glaring today. I think that, the last fumble was on him and Cook, but the last sack, I believe, was on him. It's just, So I didn't like the draft. A lot of us didn't like the draft. We didn't like a lot of the moves. We talked about it all offseason. We talked about it since with the no quarterback and the offensive line and all that. But even still, we thought we had something, didn't we? We thought we had something. And I talk to people every offseason. Every offseason I get, questions. What do you think of this kid, Zach Wilson? I don't think people would tell me, like non-fans, right? Non-Jets fans, whether they're Baltimore Ravens fans or Miami Dolphins fans or Niners fans or Cowboys fans or Steelers fans. I have friends all over the spectrum, as many of you do, I'm sure, as well. Every single one of them, and I mean every single one of them, like going into 22 with Zach, going into 23 with that, like they all would say, like, I don't know, man. Doesn't look like a good plan. And we'd be like, no, you're going to see. Every year we do that. No, you're going to, Brashad Perriman's going to, he's a stud. You'll see. It's every year. We do, no. And I get told all the time, like from the onlooker, like people who know football but are fans of different teams. They always say, every year, they say it to me. Like last year was good. It was like, wow, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce, that's a good draft class, man. Breece Hall, wow. People said that when it was warranted. But going into this one, it was like, you got Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson again. Like that's, I don't know. He's old, and he had a down year last year. It's interesting, too, because you see all these comparisons now. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, they're locked. Same yardage, same touchdown, same area. Yeah, but that was considered a down year for Aaron Rodgers. So, that was like part of the reason why they wanted to get rid of him and, all this stuff, all the fans and everything. So it's like comparing that. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm like kind of slap happy. I'm beat up. But here we are, man. So the Jets are 4-8. We have no answers. Robert Saleh has no answers. Hackett has no answers. He's talking about taking less shots down the field when I don't even know if we ever take any. I mean, we took one today, two maybe. That's got to rein it in. I mean, are we an aerial assault team? I don't know what we're talking about. Less shots. Got to rein it in. So he's got no answers. Obviously, the whole Zach Wilson thing is, Zach's not very good, guys. I'm just going to tell you that. Now, is it all his fault? No, we know, and everybody's, nobody's saying that. But he's not good. And you need to see what else is going on. But the truth is nobody liked Tim Boyle as the choice. And then we had, out of all the guys that were available, when we did hire, sign another quarterback, Trevor Siemian wasn't the guy on everybody's list. Right? So we got like kind of the bottom of the barrel, basement kind of guys. Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian, but it's like, you got to see if maybe so. Trevor Siemian gets the last 12 minutes. He doesn't look very good. He fumbles and he looked okay. I mean, he looked like he could. First pass was a complete. We're like, oh my God, maybe we got a quarterback. But I think you should maybe give him a game with the starting with the ones, practicing with the ones and everything, and So I don't know, but guys, we don't have any answers. Our defense, once again, I mean, not that Atlanta's a juggernaut or anything, but they do have a lot of weapons. You got Patterson, they got Pitts, you got London, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Algier. I mean, they're not a bunch of slouches, guys. They got weapons. And our defense, hell, Ritter's not the greatest thing in the world, but 13 points, everybody, and gave the offense too. So I don't know. That's 11 points that they're responsible for. They're 11 points. And the offense can't do it. We cannot get in the end zone. Dom C, our buddy Dom C, this was his 5th game 5th game that he went to this year, he's seen 2 offensive touchdowns. That is atrocious, guys. Atrocious. So Robert Saleh was asked today in his press conference, hey, what do you think about the penalties? And he said, hey, I'm not going to apologize for the way my guys play at the end of the first half. And he said some of the penalties are borderline laughable. And he's right. I thought the penalties in this game were ridiculous. The illegal use of the helmet, number one, I've never heard of that. Number two, the helmet wasn't even involved in the play. There was a few plays, and DJ Reed hits the guy in his armpit. Defenseless receiver. I don't even know what this game is anymore. I really don't. I don't know what the game is. But that all being what it is, it did give them the touchdown. It gave them points. So, it is, you can complain about it as far as the result of the game. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. Our offense can't get in the end zone. And our defense, even with 2 minutes left, we gave it back to them. They gave it back to our offense for one more time. One more chance, and we couldn't do anything with it. So the defense is doing whatever they can do. They're doing whatever they can do. They're playing hard. They're playing well. They're getting no help. None. Special teams did their job today. It's brutal, guys. Robert Saleh said, once again, his guys are playing hard. They asked him, I think it was Connor Hughes, who asked him, hey, you willing to move around from everybody and blame this guy and that guy and kind of look at everything, but the one guy you haven't really considered making a move on is Hackett, the play calling. The play calling's clearly not working. Have you considered it? And Robert Saleh just danced around it. Now, is that the Aaron Rodgers thing? Maybe. Maybe it is. People are talking about Aaron Rodgers holding this team hostage. I mean, is it hostage or did they just build it? Did they bring him in and now he's got chains around everybody's necks? He said, no, you can't do that. No, you're going to do that. I don't think it's like that, right? It's more like, no, they put all their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket. The offensive coordinator's here for him. There are players that are here for him. We don't have a viable backup because we were betting on Aaron Rodgers. And that's what the whole thing was built around. Is he holding us hostage? I don't think it's like that. I think the Jets when you put all your eggs in one basket, if the basket breaks, you're in trouble. It's like when you swing for the fences, if you do not connect, you're the fool. Trying to steal the base. When you go for the glory, if it doesn't work, you're left holding your jock. That's where you are. You're left holding an empty bag. And that's where the Jets are. We got nothing. And the injuries on top of it didn't help and all the stuff. But it's like we got nothing. Tim Boyle is not an NFL quarterback. Trevor Siemian was an average NFL quarterback who's old. How old is Trevor Siemian these days? He's not even that old. He's 31. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers is 40. Trevor Siemian is 31 years old. So he's not that old, but he's old because, he's not a very good quarterback. But clearly his best years are behind him. So, that's what we got. We got a Zach Wilson who we already knew what he was last year. They wanted to push reset. Fine. But reset doesn't include having to play your 5th play from the into the season. So it's just everything got blown up, guys. Now, are they going to chop heads off because of it? No, I don't think they're going to, because they built it this way. They're going to see what it looks like. It's like, you're building a house and, the foundation, your foundation block breaks. And then because of that, the wall crumbles and the roof crumbles. Do you scrap the whole house, or do you get a new you fix the foundation block, put it in, and then rebuild on top of it? That's what they need to do. I think that's what they're going to do. They need to get more help for Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall back. You need more than those two guys. Lazard, Cobb, Gibson, they're not it. Gibson had a nice game today, considering. He did okay. Did some nice things. But he's not it. He's a piece. He's just a role player. You need somebody that's going to take the top off of defense, somebody that they're afraid of. Somebody that they're afraid of, even if it's not the top, somebody that they fear over the middle, that, can get open, can lose their guys. Garrett Wilson alone out there, it's just not enough. You need other guys. But the line did okay today for the most part. They did give up 4 sacks. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's fucking bullshit. It's great. It's terrible, guys. I don't even know what to tell us anymore. Let's take a look at it. So, listen to this. So, the Jets... More yards, 259 to 194. So the defense holds the entire offense to less than 200 yards, the entire offense. Passing yards, 197 to 104. They got us in rushing yards, but 90 to 62. They're in their favor. We had more yards per play, 3.9 to 3.0. We had an extra yard per play. Listen to this one. Time of possession, Jets 30.26. The Falcons 29.34. So we actually edged them out. It's even. Even. Well, here's where we lost the game. Turnovers. 2 for the Jets, none for the Falcons. Remember, all those games that we were winning, the Jets were getting 2, 3, 4 turnovers. We got 4 turnovers in the Falcons game. In the Eagles game. You got 3 turnovers in the Buffalo game. How many turnovers did you get in the Broncos game? Right? The Giants game, I don't even know what the hell that was. Did we get any turnovers? I don't even remember. That game sucked. We just lucked out. Last 24 seconds. We just got lucky. Punts, they had more punts too. 9 to 7. So we had more turnovers. But here's another one. Penalties, 11 to 6. Okay, 11 penalties to 6. Sacks allowed, 4 to 3. Jets, Jets had more allowed. And here's a big one. Third down efficiency. Jets, once again, 2 for 15 on third down. Now, we did get a couple fourths. Ooh, look at that. We did get a couple fourth downs, so that, that skews it a smidge, but still 2 for 15 on third downs. They got 4 for 14 on third downs. The Jets defense did their job. People say, oh, you can't get off the field. Well, they kind of did. They gave up 13 points. They gave up less than 200 yards passing today. You're supposed to win those games, guys. And this is not, that's what I mean. It's like we're saying the same thing every single week. It's brutal. It's brutal being a fan of this team. And honest to God, somebody needs to pay. What is it? What do we do? Because there's 5 games left and we don't have a single answer. Robert Saleh has no answers. None. No answers. No players. Nobody to go to. It's amazing that we are in this position again. We were talking about the Super Bowl. And we are now talking about a top 5 pick. Currently, we're at pick number 7 as of right now when I'm recording this. Pick number 7. That's a top 10 pick, guys. We thought we were on our way out of this. We thought we were. Climbing back out. Pick 13, traded it to the Packers for pick 50. So we picked at 15 last year, but 13 is where we were. Maybe 20, you know what I mean? 24, 29, 32. That's where you want to be. Nope, here we are. Going the other way. Pick number 7. So what did the Jets do? So there's now we have a conversation. We're talking about draft. We're talking about what to do in free agency. We're talking about firing people. Can you fire Hackett? Hackett is not a good offensive coordinator. There's no question about it. He can't do it. You saw the Russell Wilson thing last year, even though he was the head coach. So there's a little bit of a skew, but he was calling the plays. So you have that whole thing. He looks fine now. He looked fine in Seattle. He looked terrible with Hackett. He looks fine now. Aaron Rodgers, can you tell him, hey, look, buddy, we hate this friggin' guy. He sucks. Nice guy. We all like him personally. As far as what he does, he's terrible. At least give the play calling to somebody else. Shit. Give it to any of the other coaches. Give it to Keith Carter. He was the running game coordinator. Give it to him. Todd Downing has 23 years of experience in coaching. Let him call the plays. Give it to Rob Calabrese. Didn't he call the Senior Bowl? Remember, he was the offensive coordinator for the Senior Bowl. Remember? Jets lost. You know what I'm going to say? Listen to this. Listen to this season. And listen, this is just epitomizes the Jets forever. Perion Winfrey, who, by the way, was the MVP of that Senior Bowl that the Jets coached. Fantastic defensive lineman. We all loved him coming out. Cleveland took him. There was some domestic thing. He got cut. Turned out he didn't do it. He got cleared, and he was out there, so the Jets scooped him up. Great pickup. Put him on the field for 5 minutes, and he gets hurt. I don't know what it is when I'm recording this, but it didn't look good. He was crying leaving the field. Not a good sign. But let's take a look at this. You got Chuck Clark, known as Mr. Iron Man, has played every game of the season his entire career. Comes to the Jets, doesn't even make it to game one. Last year, Dwayne Brown, Iron Man, plays every game of the season for years. Comes to the Jets 4 days into his stint here, injured, out for the first few games of the season. Now he's been injured 3 times since he's been here. I was getting older, sure, but still. Perion Winfrey, first play with the Jets, out. Aaron Rodgers plays, how many games has Aaron Rodgers, hold on a minute. Aaron Rodgers played 7 games in 2017. So he was hurt that year. Other than that, he has played every game. The last 10 years, Aaron Rodgers has played every game except for 1 year, and that was 2017. Every single game. In his career, 2008, the first year he started, he played 16 games. 2009, 16 games. 2010, 15 games. I don't remember what happened there. 2010, 15 games, so he's missing 1. 2012, 16 games. Then 2013, he plays 9 games, so something happened there. I can't recall. But then 16, 16, 16. Then there's 2017, 7 games. 16, 16, 16, 16. Last year, 17. Comes to the Jets, 4 plays. I'm going to tell you, if I was an agent, I would tell my players anywhere but the Jets. The black cloud hanging out over this team is thick. Guys who play every game of the year for years come here and don't even make it a game. It's crazy. It's just a crazy thing. It's sad. It's terribly, terribly sad, is it not? And it feels bad. So what do? We talk about whether we're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. If we're top 4 or 5, we take a quarterback? How does that help Aaron Rodgers, right? Are we going to do it or not? Are we going to go for it or not? I don't know. Or are we going to kind of half-ass the whole thing? You know what I mean? The old saying, you can't steal second and stay safe at first. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to build for next year, for the future, and build for Aaron Rodgers? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe in free agency, they're going to bring in Bakhtiari, probably, and he's injured all the time, so he's not going to make it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy to me. I honestly don't know what to say anymore. It's like, it's a weird thing. And Jets fans, I talk to lots of you guys all week long and everything. We're beaten up. We're beaten down, man. This is 5 losses in a row, and we're not losing by the skin of our teeth. We're getting, they're all 1-score games. Not Miami, of course, or the last 2, Buffalo and Miami, were blowouts. But, generally speaking, the defense is keeping us in. It's like we just can't get in the end zone. Even the Eagles game was 5 field goals. We can't score. What do we have, 8 touchdowns all year? It's crazy. So what's the answer? The draft, free agency, Aaron Rodgers? I mean, people are saying, I don't think Aaron Rodgers would change anything. I think you're drunk. I think Aaron Rodgers would change everything with this team. Now, would we be a Super Bowl contender? Probably not. But let's be real here. You see what these quarterbacks are doing? Whether it's Zach, Tim Boyle, Simeon today, again, you can't blame the guy. You're throwing him in. He hasn't played with these guys. You give him 12 minutes. They should have at least given him the whole second half. You know what Tim Boyle is. Why wait till he throws a pick? Why? So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I will say this. Where I stand right now, I'm a big fan. Like, we got Aaron Rodgers. You do everything you can to make sure that works. That's where we are. You're paying him $37 million. You know what I mean? Get rid of Zach, Tim, Trevor. Get rid of all of them. Bring in a viable backup. Use your 4th-round pick, your 3rd-round pick on a quarterback. I would probably go with my 4th. Somebody developmental. You bring in, whoever's they're all on 1-year contracts this year. Bring in Jacoby Brissett. Let him back up Aaron Rodgers and bring in the kid, 4th-round pick, somebody with nice upside, 6'3", 220, somebody like that. Somebody who can move, somebody athletic. You bring him in, he's just raw, and you let him sit. And then the rest of your draft is offensive linemen and wide receivers. That's what you do. That's what I would do. And in free agency, I would blow the entire wad on offensive linemen. I would. And if Mike Evans wants to come, fine. I'll give him the whole kit and caboodle. That's me. And then next year, if it doesn't work, then you look at quarterback and everything. Like, getting a quarterback now, I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand what people are saying. If you got a top 5 pick, you go quarterback. I get it. We did it last time. It didn't work. It doesn't mean they're going to work. I honestly think it's offensive line time. And look, it's not that Joe Douglas hasn't done it. He's used 2 first-round picks on offensive linemen. He's used 2nd-round picks, 4th-round picks. They're all hurt. It's crazy. It's a weird thing. Whether it's Cam Clark, Mekhi Becton, AVT. We know what happened with Cam Clark. Never played a snap, really. Becton lost two seasons. Carter Warren was hurt, missed the whole first portion of this season. He's playing now, left tackle, right tackle. He looks like he's got a shot. Max Mitchell, I don't know what happened with him. Maybe the blood clot thing is affecting him. I don't know. Who knows? I liked him coming out. I thought he was a 5th. That's another story. I liked the pick. I thought it was a decent pick, but I don't know. Should he be out there so quick? I don't know. This has to be the year of making sure that you bring in the best offensive lineman that you can, and you go too deep. Your second string should be better than the line you're putting out there this year. Now, Tippmann's a keeper. Hopefully, Carter Warren's a keeper. Maybe Becton signs a 1-year lesser contract to try to get back up to that form where he can command a big contract. AVT's great, but you can't depend on him. So he hasn't finished the last 2 years. I'll tell you what, though, too. Look at Elijah Vera Tucker. He played 16 games in 2021. 0 penalties. 0. 2022, 0 holding, 0 false starts. He had 1 declined offsides. And in 2023 so far, he had 1 false start before he was hurt. That's something. But you can't depend on him. You can't. 2 seasons in a row. Achilles and an elbow. I mean, who knows, right? I don't even know what to say about him. But you got to back him up. You got to get somebody legit. So it's tough. That's how we're going to use the draft. Right? Are they going to go quarterback? It's like kind of where it's like Will McDonald. What does Will McDonald do to help Aaron Rodgers? Nothing. Who knows? Maybe if they would have gotten that left tackle, maybe where they were, just traded up a little bit and got somebody. Maybe Dwayne Brown wasn't starting. Maybe he didn't need to start him so fast. Maybe Aaron Rodgers never gets hit. Maybe he's still playing today. Who knows? So, guys, We'll talk about it all. We're going to break down the season, break down the offseason like we always do. We're going to dissect all these guys, all the different players and prospects and who's what to who and where and RAS scores and combines, and we're going to do all of it like we always do. But it really would have been nice to have a season. 4 wins, man. 4 wins. Can we really be 4-13? What are we going to be, 5, 6 wins now? It's garbage. So I'm real sorry. I'm real sorry that this is what we're talking about. It's hard to keep coming up with shit to talk about when it's the same thing every week. At least we got Trevor Siemian. And for a minute there, he looked like he might just be settling down. Again, I thought they should have put him in right from the second half. That would have been better. But next week, we'll probably get him for the whole game. And then who knows? We're going to see Zach by the end of this one. He's coming back. It's going to be a crazy season, man. With that all said, guys, I'm sorry. We are 4-8. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go Jets.